Hello, Kerbal ladies and Kerbal gentlemen. Sort of. I'm Lorenzo, and today we're messing about with the EllBristow HardKore challenge once more. It's a months old challenge by now, but I want to finish it. And we will be mucking about with our guy in the space station once more. Previous episode, we launched a unmanned resupply pod that failed due to lack of signal coverage. Today, we are scrapping the space station project, and we will be sending up the Super Duper Rescuer. Let's have a look where that is at. Where is that? The Super Duper Rescuer. On board will be Dirtree Kerman, the Kermanaut we rescued from low Kerbin orbit. Because we did that, he is allowed to be used in the game due to the rules and stuff. Now, what we want to do is pretty simple. We want to do a rendezvous with the space station, take both guys out of it, land this thing back, and then we can switch focus to the Duna mission. If you haven't been keeping up to speed, we need to do that. We need to do this before we switch focus back to the Duna mission, because otherwise the guy in the station will run out of food in his life support thingy. We don't want that. We're not heartless. We want to bring him back home. So there's that. Right. We don't have to do the super accuracy bit because this ship is manned and as such is fully capable of performing a rendezvous whichever way the antennae on the mission control thing are pointing, but it's still nice if we can do it in a neat fashion. So I'm going to attempt doing just that. I think I was a little bit late though in decreasing the time warp here. This rocket is untested, but it does look fairly simple, doesn't it? So let's fire that up and see where we end up. These Rockomaxes have been throttled back a bit, and I'm going to rely on the gimbal thruster and of course the wings for steering. It just occurs to me that I haven't looked at the staging at all, and let's add a second stage for the fairing, so we have a little bit of control of when that happens. This thing is, well, those can be separate, we don't mind that. Alright, let's throttle back on the liquid fueler, liquid booster, liquid engine, this is the word I'm looking for. We mostly want that for steering in this phase of the flight. We don't really need it for propulsion as we have these solid boosters for that. My trajectory isn't really efficient, that would be to turn over a lot sooner, but it is safe. Turns out that this ship is not the most controllable, probably because of all the SES capability on the top of the stack and the wings here. I could have turned off the torque and then that would probably have made things a bit more stable, but well, like this, we have a bit of delta V to spare if I recall correctly, so we don't need all the efficiency in the world. I am suddenly very worried about ditching these SRBs. They could crash into the central stack and then, well, Dirty would be able to parachute to safety, but we'll have another failed mission on our books. We don't want that for obvious reasons. So before ditching them, I'm going to throttle up the liquid engine and establish a stable heading. And let's drop them. Let's screw all that and just drop them. Drop them. Yeah, there we go. Well, that was completely safe, as you could have seen. Now we're almost out of the atmosphere, so it's safe to do aggressive turning. Let's see, the thing is already making me rendezvous, which is a bit premature, I think. Nevertheless, let's lock it in here. Establish orbit and generate a maneuver node. Yeah, we're not gonna make this rendezvous, I don't think. So, but let's plan a maneuver node here to see how we could rendezvous. Problem is that we will be ending up in a higher orbit rather than a lower one, which we would need to catch up. So it's not going to be here, I'm afraid. We need to point down a bit to generate a lower orbit. And then I could, this is 160 kilometers, I could burn from here once we get things a little bit more in the direction of an orbit. Damn it, I'm not being efficient again. But doesn't matter, oh, we can get rid of the fairing, by the way. Look, here we go, 2 capsules, 4 sets of parachutes and a small upper stage. That should suffice neatly for getting our people in orbit. Target position at, well, we could try And rendezvous over there. That certainly seems like an interesting option. Let's see, the upper stage of this rocket has 1.3 kilometers per second of delta V, so we cannot do hugely ridiculous things, but we can. We do have a safe margin to, well, to actually rendezvous and get these people out. So that's good. That's good. Look at that. This is actually shaping up to be sort of a nice intersect. Let's just see what direction that goes in. Oh, look at that. Here we have a nice one. Is this actually... no, that's not quite into space yet. But let's burn straight up and push this out a little bit more, and then we'll probably get a nice intercept on the other side of the orbit. That seems like a good idea. Oh no, we don't want to burn retrograde. Jeez, that's just silly. Right. Let's aim it over here. Fire the engine again. Come on. Full burn. No, this doesn't work for shit. We want to do that over here. And just ever so barely lift that baryapsis out of the atmosphere. And as you can see, that will immediately ruin the intercept we have there. So maybe if we go like that, we can fix it. This is fixed, but now we're not inside the atmosphere anymore. So that doesn't work out either. 40 kilometers, that's almost good enough. 70 is almost good enough. And then can we rendezvous on that side of the planet? 8 kilometers, 38, that's not quite good enough. 55, that's almost good enough. 70 is good enough. And then we have here 110, that's not good enough. 6 and 46, that's getting there. That's getting there. Need to go a little bit faster. 4 and 52, still not quite there. This would do 12 kilometers and 61. That's almost good. We are looking at a quite ridiculous fuel expenditure to do this rendezvous, but it is the quickest way. 60 to a rendezvous of 60 kilometers. That doesn't slow us down all that much at all. Let's see, 13. This is going to be a bonkers rendezvous, but let's do it. 65 is good enough. Excuse me for that. That's 800 meters per second to get there. No, that's actually... that would be catastrophic. No, it wouldn't, because then we would need to slow down again. Yeah, that would actually be catastrophic. We would need... that is at a lower altitude, actually. Yeah. We would need as much to slow down again. So, no. We can't do it like this, much as I would like to. Oh, we're actually not currently in orbit. That's we should fix that anyway. So, here we are in orbit. And then we'll just do it the conventional way, where we match altitude there, and then we'll just fix it from there. Not the most excited way, but definitely a good way. So, while we do that, time warping 3 minutes into the future, well, I was going to say that I'm probably going to attempt a live stream this evening after recording this, but this will probably air next week, so that's completely outdated information. I do hope to finish this show in, well, this episode or the next, because I haven't actually checked, but I think it's really outdated what I'm doing, just because I've been away for quite a while, and well, these things tend to be fairly seasonal. Also, I am using 0.24, which is of course not quite actual. Oh, look at that! Here we have our nice rendezvous setup. If it would stop blinking, would be nice. Do we trust the blinking marker? Does this seem like a good idea? The blinky marker Seems like I trust the blinky marker. 200 meters per second, 300 meters per second. There, and then 300 meters per second. Back again, equals 600 meters per second, is about half of the capacity of this ship. That seems like a safe margin, does it not? 8 more minutes to go. Let's see. Now all we have to do is actually find the booster marker. Let's see, we can fixing the stages over there, and here we go, aligning with the booster marker, the maneuver node, as it's called in colloquial terms. The booster. I like the booster marker better, actually. So 40 more seconds until that 12-second burn. Damn it! I want to be doing exciting things. If you have any interesting suggestions or ideas for, we need to separate the stages. If there are any things you would like to see in particular for future series, like celestial bodies visited or crazy stunt maneuvers attempted, do let me know, because I am somewhat dry on inspiration and would, well, appreciate feedback and suggestions. Rolling with physical time warp here is risky as ever, but you know, we are cowboys. Or something. Let's actually have a peek at the map view. Yeah, this marker, I don't trust that marker at all, so I'm just going to go on the maneuver node. Well, that should do it. Oh, look at that. We have a separation of 60 kilometers. That's not actually so much. That's actually not so little. Let's fix that by burning retrograde, of course. I mean, that should make all the sense in the world if you're a rocket scientist. 15 kilometers is much better. So let's wait until that moment in time. I can't remember if this series actually uses deadly re-entry or not, so that is quite important to determine whether we just plunge to the ground as soon as we have... I don't even know who it is. Probably Bob or Bill. One of them is at Duna. The other one is in the safe haven. Another thing I don't even know is whether or not the Duna ship has the Delta V to get home again. It did suffer a fuel leak earlier on, so this may all be in vain. Where is my target marker? Oh yeah, I don't have a booster marker, I just have a retrograde marker for the target. Can I see it? Yeah, there we go. Alrighty on. Firing retrograde, matching speed with the target, physical time warp online. Because we want to. 14 kilometers. In a pinch, we could jet back that, but we won't. We will make everything nice and easy for either Bob or Bill. Because, you know, here at the Kerbal Space Center, we care about our astronauts, and we oftentimes remember their names, just not today. Today is a Monday, and, you know, you can't rely too much on office workers on Monday. So they the naming papers got misplaced in the round archive, the bin. Also, I am very, very impatient, and I'm using lots of time warp to get close to the target. So if something just immediately explodes for some reason, that is probably the some reason. Right, 8 kilometers and closing. We are probably not going to get so close. We are in very low orbit over Kerbin. That means that curvature effects are going to be large. Even though we used a closing velocity of 100 meters per second, we are still going to sail right by it. So we still have about 500 meters per second, if not more, left. So let's just do a blazing hot approach. And I don't mean that in the temperature sense, but just in the dangerous, awesomely scale that, I don't know, some people use probably. It's getting too hot. That's what the ghost in StarCraft 2 says. So we all want to be like the ghost in StarCraft 2, don't you think? Anyway, I've done this mission so many times in different ways, shapes or forms that I have no idea what to comment about it. Oh, I should probably turn around because we're getting fairly close. Right, 3 kilometers. Burned all the rocket fuel just going that slight amount faster. But then again, that is the luxury space program. Dirtree returning the favor. He was once rescued from space, probably by either Bill or Bob, who is in the safe haven as we speak. I should slow down more. And now he's going to return either Bill or Bob back to Kerbin just because he's such a nice guy. Are we actually going to crash into it? No, 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 no. That's actually a fairly expert rendezvous, if I say so myself. That's pretty awesome. Now, though, things are not so awesome anymore. That was pretty smooth. I reckon I was only about half a second off of perfectly decelerating next to the station in that quite... Oh shit! I almost forgot. We need to save some fuel to actually re-enter, otherwise we would have a double rescue on our hands. Oh man. Alright then, be frugal now. Here we have Bill, not Bob. Bob is at Duna. And let's pop him on EVA. Does he have any science? EVA report? No, that's all been done. Alright then, let go. One of these bulbs is yours, and they are going to re-enter together. Lights on. Whoa! Right. So, here we go. Two of them in here. Let's fire retrograde into the planet. I think that's a good idea. Do we have any fuel remaining? Well, not a lot. I hope we actually managed to re-enter. It would be a bit embarrassing if we didn't. Oh, there we go. That's already at 0 kilometers. Alright then. Let's fire off the rest of the fuel. I might just maybe I just made a big mistake by entering too steeply. Anyway, let's ditch that, and now it's all in the hands of Mr. Newton. Oh shit, something happened to the screen. I'm going to hit a quick save because everything is flickering and being weird. Quick saving, and now I'm gonna try a quick load. Apparently that fixed things. Great, are we still re-entering? We are still re-entering. Everything seems to be the same, minus the weird flickering. Yeah, seems good. We need to be pointing retrograde for re-entry. Okay, let's time warp until atmospheric interface, where things will become nail-biting as always. Here we go, hitting Eden Atmo. Let's go with the physical time warp again because we are oh so impatient. 65 kilometers. We're gonna be coming in fairly hot because I burnt off all the rocket fuel, and now we're on a steep entry trajectory, so things should be over pretty soon, whichever way they turn out. Do we have re-entry? We have 2 heat shields actually. One of them, who's in this? Come on, who's in that? Crew hatch, who's in there? Crew hatch, show me who's in there. Dirt tree. Dirt tree is first to burn up if they burn up. Isn't that nice? Okay, let's ditch the physical time warp. Oh man, I may have to do something with that rendezvous. I might not though. Alright, here we go. Screw the rendezvous, we are now re-entering. Do we have deadly re-entry? Yeah, we do. I could have checked that ages ago. Just look for the ablative shield. Right. Oh, that might be a problem then if and when our parachutes burn up. Oh, we have 4 of them. Hopefully they don't all burn up. I mean, are we decelerating? We are decelerating. Would be weird if we were actually accelerating, but this may be the crazy most dangerous re-entry I've ever done without any planning, just firing all the engines. Oh well, keeps things interesting. We're at 200 ablative shielding. This one is not ablating at all. G-forces are actually fairly manageable. G's stock size Kerbin is easy. We're not even exceeding 5 Gs, and we're going in so steep. The heat shield though is pretty much gone, but we're so slow that these heating effects should subside momentarily. And there they go. So let's pop the 4 chutes, and that will take us down to safety, I think. See the brilliance of this design. Even if they do snap apart, they each have their own chute. Isn't that brilliant? I thought it is. Right on. 400 meters per second. That is incredibly boring now because, well, things are pretty much guaranteed to go well. We're over the ocean, that's good. That means we can use physical time warp and know exactly when the chutes will pop, because that is liable to break ships apart as well. But then again, they each have their own chutes, so they're somewhat time warp proof. Isn't that nice? So 1300 meters, and they will get a rough jolt anytime now. There we go. Right, upping the time warp to, well, wait until 0 meters really. And we can't skip these things because I'm obliged to show you due to the challenge rules and spirit. So here we go. But the good thing is we have decommissioned our space station. Screw that thing, and now we can focus our attention back on the Duna people, because they are the truly interesting lot in this space program. Oh yeah, here we go. Into the ocean we go and recover the vessel. 2 more astronauts ready to fire back into space, but we won't, because, well, our science party to Duna has already arrived, really, but we know that. Right on. Let's scope them out. Scope them out, scope them out. Which one do we... which is it, actually? It's probably not one of these things that are Expeditionary Force ship orbiting Duna. That's probably it. Let's fly this. We ought to find here... No, this is the lander that's full of fuel, but not usable due to a missed design. Duna service module is what we want to... what we are looking for. Oh yeah, it's in orbit around Ike, of course, because we visited that last. Right, so what this needs to do, apart from not run out of fuel, is ditch its used engines. Let's see. That's... when it needs to transfer fuel, it needs to ditch its used engines. It needs to get rid of this thing as well. It needs to grab the science. Bob needs to climb into this capsule if he's not in there already. Then it needs to get into an orbit. Wait, are we crashing? No, we're not crashing. Then we need to get into an orbit around Duna, possibly, and plot a course back to Earth, Kerbin, in 158 days. We will undertake that mission in a separate episode. I know I said I was going to do it today, but that would take so long that the episode would turn into unwatchable garbage. So next episode is going to be the last one with the conclusion of the Duna mission. Happy or sad, we don't know yet. And that will signal the conclusion of the challenge as well. So for today, thanks for watching and your continued patronage. And, well, I'm very open and receptive to comments about what you liked, what you didn't. And, well, I look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.